Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Art and Outdoor Life here with John. I hope that you're having a great day, a good morning, great evening, wherever you are. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you for viewing. Okay, this video here, this painting took me about 25 minutes. And I edited it because I wanted, I didn't want the gaps in between. I want to explain this to you. Okay, so I started out with the sky here. Okay, that's cobalt blue, and I'm going on an angle. As I was looking at the last video I did, I realized that you can get those kind of rays of light coming through, and by which way that your brush strokes are. Okay, so that's what I did. I figured, okay, I'll try it coming down that way and then dabbing in a little bit with the clouds. You can use cerulean blue and whatever, but I'm using two blues here, a cobalt blue and a Prussian blue. And so this is the darker blue, this is the Prussian blue. And I'm pretty much sketching out the creek or the river. You're going to love this, okay? This is kind of how I do my oil paintings. And if it's new to you, you'll enjoy this. You'll be able to paint very well. You'll be able to impress anybody. And you'll learn from, like we do. We learn from every painting that we do. Every time we paint, we learn something, right? So this is the darker blue, and I'm just dabbing it here with a flat brush. I'm putting it, more water in there. Now, water control is everything. I'm not using no hair blowers, no hair dryers in this video. So there's right there with the same color, blue. I'm using my basic horizon line. And then, as you know, watercolor fades when it dries because it evaporates. The water evaporates and leaves you with the pigment. So the heavier the pigment you use, the stronger it will stay. And some colors are not so transparent, and some are very opaque. Okay, but right now we're using just blue, two kinds of blue. The cobalt blue for the sky, and the rest we're using the Prussian blue. You can use cerulean blue for the sky, and you can use ultramarine for the mountain and the stream if you want to. It just depends on how you want to do it. Feel it out for yourself. And you might also experiment with other colors, because it doesn't have to be a creek scene. It could be any other things. I'm using burnt umber here, okay? Basically what I was doing is, okay, now I want something warm to come across this here, and I'm just sporadically doing this back and forth. I just want some kind of shades. I just want to get a little bit of earth tone in there. And so I'm just going back and forth with this burnt umber. Now, as you'll notice, as the painting goes on, my basic colors that I'm using here are going to be blue and yellow and some burnt umber. Of course, I am using white in this video, and I have no shame about it. Okay, So here I am. I grabbed a little bit of lemon yellow. Now I'm only pushing in the lemon yellow to lighten up the tree line in the back. Okay, lemon or yellow and blue make green. So, the harder, the more brighter yellow, against the blue, the more lighter green you're going to get. Okay. Ron Ranson used to use ultramarine blue with the lemon yellow, and that's how he got his greens. And that's how I learned how to get green, different shades of green. Okay, so I'm coming back, and after putting it in some more of depression blue, the darker blue, now I can kind of put shades in there, right? And like I said, I painted this like I was doing an oil painting, and I've been into oils lately. But this is watercolor, and watercolor is very hard to do. It's it's one of those mediums that you got to be on your feet. If you're doing it like I did here, alla prima, just sitting down. Okay, so now with the lemon yellow, what I did was basically throwing a light shade of it across my foreground. So I'm creating fields, okay? I'm not worried about like how much I put on there. Well, I am, but you don't want a whole lot. But water control is everything, okay? So it's almost dry brush here. So now with the fan brush, or as I call them, the turkey tail brushes, because they do look like turkey tails. I've been calling them that since I started out almost 2 years ago. Just gently, very gently, just taking the white. It's not Chinese white or any certain kind of white. It just says white. So, as perspective, you want it to go from smaller and coming to you being larger, right? Okay. The reason why I like the fan brush is because a few reasons. It has those gaps in between the bristles. So now I'm coming back with some Prussian blue, and I'm just kind of like going in between the white. Okay, very gently, and every time that I am using these colors, I'm pressing it on a paper next to me to make sure that the water is off and to make sure that nothing is runny. None of the paint is runny. Okay. Now, to lighten the colors up, okay, if you want your blue to be lighter, yeah, you want more water in it. So less, and then once you've diluted your paint with water, then you just press on a rag or on a paper, and it'll take out some of that watery run. So, looking at this here, I've made my lines on tree lines or brush lines, however you want to view it, and I kind of want to make everything aim toward the center, which is the creek or the river. Okay, so and I'm not thinking about this. This is how I paint. You know, I don't always know what the outcome will be, but this is interaction with colors, and so yeah. On the right hand side, to try to give it like a hill, I made it, the tree line coming downward, and almost the same off to the right. Now with white, you can blend white with any color and it will lighten the color. But remember this too, white is a funny pigment because white can make things very cloudy, and white can make things very bright. So just being careful with the white, even though I know I can go back over it. Now, what I'm doing with this river or stream is I'm trying to contrast the lighter white, and then as I blend it, it hits the green, it hits the yellow, and it becomes shades. Okay, and so here I am again. I'm going back and forth with basically what I'm doing in this video, in this painting, is going back and forth between the dark green and lemon yellow, the light yellow. And that's how I'm getting my shades and also the brushes. Okay, I'm using a variety of brushes here. Flat brushes are awesome. I mean, if they're not just for going up and down and straight across. I mean, look at what I'm doing here, right? So I'm making grassy scenes. I'm directing a hill, creating a hill. I mean, every brush, you know, I don't know how to say it. And I'm coming along here, and then I'm going up with it, just to kind of maybe for some kind of grass effect. So it's blue, right? But if I want it to be light, in green, I just add a little bit of yellow to it. And that gives me control over the colors. One thing about brushes, I will say, and I'm using the Ranson brush here, along with a liner brush, a rigger brush, and a few flat brushes. These are all very cheap. Okay, one thing about if you're going to go out and buy your brushes, people swear on their brushes and everything. And I play music, and I've done it for years, decades. It's not like buying an expensive guitar. Okay? In other words, once you buy your brush, you're not putting it on the market, right? If you want to sell it. So, you're going to use it and you might not use it, depending. But, so be careful, buyer beware when you go and buy your brushes. I do want to say that the Ron Ranson Hake brush, and I'm not sponsored by nobody, I'm not endorsed by nobody, and I'm not looking for none of that. The Ron Ranson Hake brush is of the most, they will last you for years and years. I've known people that have used them for decades without ever having to replace them. So I'm using a flat brush here because what's cool about the flat brush is you do get more detail. You can go flat or you can go sideways. And I'm just feeling out this little pond here, or this little river, this little creek. Now, if you look at it, and I'm even dabbing a little bit more lemon yellow here, right? just with the tip of the flat brush. And because I'm allowing it, I'm giving it brightness. And when I give it brightness, the parts that are not bright give it the shadow, you know. And so here I am with a liner brush. It's, you know, now I'm just going to go ahead and put in a fence line. Okay, so basically these little fence posts, and again, I'm using very dark, I'm using it basically out of the tube, depression blue here. And I mean, you can use other colors that you want to, but this is a very simple way of creating a scene like this. It's fun to do. You can stop whenever you want to. Like, for example, on this painting, I could have stopped right here and just left it that way. But like a lot of us are, we overthink things. And we always get caught in the moment, right? We're doing things that our subconscious mind, is pretty much telling us what to do while we're consciously thinking about it. In the back of our mind, it's saying, do this, do that. And that's what makes, that's what makes the creativity so awesome, spontaneous. You can stop whenever you want to. I could have stopped. And that thing in the back of my mind said, you know, try this, try that, It's not fussing, it's just natural. It's just, you're painting. You can go on for a long time, you can do this sitting down for a couple hours. It just depends on who you are. I suggest, take your time. You know who you are. And every few minutes, step back and look at it and say, do I like this? And you're not going to like everything about your paintings. And if you do, good for you. I'm one that every painting I do, there's something I do not like about it. And that's just me. It's just normal for me. And it's supposed to be enjoyable. This is my time, my personal time, and my escape from reality in a good, healthy, and positive way. But I want to share this with you because, it does cost a lot for art lessons, and I've never had one. And so if you know anybody that's interested in learning and trying, or, encourage someone to try it at least. So I put in some orange red. It's called gambage. Just because I wanted to. I don't know why I did it. I just did. I wanted something bright in there. So here with the burnt umber, I'm putting up a tree. And everything, like I said, is pretty much a dry brush that I did on this here. Of course, there's water in there, but just dabbing the water off to my side on a piece of paper and a washcloth so that the water doesn't come out of the bristles completely. And hey, thank you for viewing, guys. And I want to wish you guys a wonderful day, a great evening, and a great morning, wherever you are and whatever time you're watching this. I do appreciate it. And you can like and you can subscribe to my channel. And, I don't make any money off this. I just do this for anxiety and personal reasons, creative reasons. And thanks again. And you'll enjoy the rest of the video. So, those are bluebirds, but to the eye, they're not exactly blue. I love that sky. Brush strokes. Now with the card here, I'm going to attempt, if your paper, if your paint is still wet, you can put in the little fences and little effects with just a card. Have a great day, guys. Thank you so much. Sincerely yours, John.